On YouTube, this is Lawless Ohms with my very first video, very first YouTube channel, everything. I've been watching vape reviews for a long time, but I felt inspired to make my first review video, and I'll tell you why right now. This, the Blacksmith DNA 200 by Madvapes. It is made in the United States, aluminum and zinc body. This thing is indestructible. It has a black, what they call contour finish. It's kind of good. It's very textury, very grippy. You're not going to drop it. Comes in 3 other finishes as well. The diamond plate. They have a copper and a gray version that has the Madvapes logo. It's kind of like a smoke, kind of like a cloud thing going on. It's just pretty cool. It has a 900 mAh battery. The battery life is decent depending on how you vape, but we'll talk about that later in the pros and cons. It's serialized, so if you can see at the bottom here, it does have a serial number on it. For some reason this thing doesn't autofocus for me, but my serial number here is 494, so I'm still under the first 500 devices, which is cool. And that's another reason why I'm making this video. I don't think enough people know about it. I spent yesterday touring a few vape shops in my area that I like to go to, and I showed this to everybody, and they're like, holy shit, what is that? So I had to bring it out, I had to show it, and I wanted to make this video. I picked this thing up at a store called Vape NY in Midtown Manhattan, right on 36th Street, between 8th and 9th, I believe, or 7th and 8th. 7th and 8th, 7th and 8th, not 8th and 9th, 7th and 8th. They are a great bunch of guys. The owner's wonderful. They know their shit very well, and they're all about safety. Safety is #1 to them, so if you're ever in the city, you're in Midtown, stop by, see Spike, Ricky, any of these guys, awesome guys. They also have a shop down in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn too. So no matter where you are, you can find one. Great shop. So all that cool stuff being said, I'm gonna have a vape. Clouds. So all that being said, let's take an up-close look at her. Alright YouTube, so we are now up close and personal with the Blacksmith DNA 200. Now, as you see here, the packaging is very simple. It's just a little plastic case. If you look on the back, you got some information, and that's really about it. There's nothing fancy, nothing special. Take it out, you have your awesome little device. And if you notice, now we get an up-close look. We'll look at a little bit more of that in a minute. You have some styrofoam stuff, this plastic thing that holds it in, more styrofoam stuff, and now in the bottom is actually really cool. If I can manage to pull it out of here, it's really hard to get out. But now you'll see a certificate of authenticity, handwritten, signed, and dated. So mine was made on September 30th, 2015, only a couple months old here. Serial number 494, which you will see right here. Serial number 494. So that's pretty cool. It's a neat little thing to have. Good quality card here. On the back, you have the details of it. You have the DNA 200 chip, 0.1 ohm or higher on Candle coils. Supports 0.08 on your nickel coils, or your temperature control coils rather. Maximum output 50 amps, 200 watts, zinc and aluminum body, spring loaded, 510 connection, serialized, and again, 100% USA made right there in black and white or whatever color this looks like it might be. So now the device. So now we have our DNA 200 Blacksmith, and she is beautiful. Look at that finish all around. Very clean lines, very well done. You have 2 screws on each side. I don't know if this is very user serviceable. I would suggest not. I know the LiPo batteries can be replaced in these, but that might be more of an advanced feature. Alright, we flip it to this side, you'll see your screen. You got your fire button, your up and down buttons, and your USB port. And as you'll see, you have, like usual, it'd be 5 clicks to turn it on, 5 clicks to lock it. Right now mine's already on. It says check atomizer because I have no atomizer, but I'm going to lock it. It's really freaking bright. The stock settings on the screen are 100% very bright. I like to turn it down. You can probably barely read what it says on the camera. It's so bright. But very nice, very clicky buttons. I don't know if you could hear them. All the buttons on this device, extremely clicky. USB is recessed a little bit. Alright, and then you have your 510 connection here, which is spring loaded. It seems to be a little far down there, so on some devices you may have to extend the pin just a little bit. But it hasn't been a problem for me. And you'll see there, that's a little bit better. If I hold it out here, it looks like it maintains its focus. So again, show you all sides of the device. And yeah, it's pretty simple. As far as the size comparison, boom. This is the Sigeli 75. It's slightly bigger by a little bit. And again, it's a lot heavier. I feel like my little Han Solo thing on the 75, that's pretty cool. Again, you have your screws on the side. Everything's clean, everything's nice. All of my devices fit right in, with the exception of having to adjust the 510 on a couple of my RDAs so far. Fits right in there. My Smart TV F4. And yeah, very simple, very easy. So we got wattage up and down, which you can't really see very well. You got wattage up and down, and then 5 clicks to lock, like I said before, 5 clicks to unlock. Remember, the DNA 200 really does not turn off. It just kind of, when you lock it, eventually it'll turn itself off, but you cannot manually turn it off. Alright, and I think that's going to be about it for up close and personal time, so let's take her back to beard time. Vape on her a little bit and talk about the pros and cons. Welcome back to beard time. You just saw an up close and personal look at the Blacksmith DNA 200 by Madvapes. Now you saw up close how beautiful this device is, how clean the lines are, how nice the buttons are, how clicky. I don't know if you can hear it. Very clicky. I tried to get that in my up close time too, but it can never be overstated. Love clicky buttons. Now, pros and cons on this device. Pros. Beautifully solid made device. Made in the United States, right here. This finish feels tight. I don't think I'm going to scratch this finish very well. I don't think it's going to come off. If I drop it, I don't think it's going to break. It's not going to scratch. I could beat a mugger with it. You know, again, whatever I got to do in New York, I could use this for. So, great pro. Another pro, DNA 200 chip, of course. All the upgradable firmware, the e-cig software. If you don't know much about that stuff, there's a bunch of videos out here on YouTube. There's also a lot of information online. There's the user's guides that Evolve has. So again, great chip, great device, solid made. Cons, heavy. This thing is a cinder block in your hand. I'm not sure how much it weighs. I would like to weigh it, but I don't have a postal scale or anything. This is the heaviest amount I have, even compared to, let's see what we got here. I have this, my Sigeli 150 with the TFV4 on it. This is still air compared to this thing. This thing is a brick. So that might be a con for some people. I don't mind it at all. I'm kind of a big guy. I can carry heavy stuff, no big deal. But for some people, they might not want to weight in their pocket, but I feel like I can exercise with this thing too, and I could use it, so that's good. Another small con for people, subjective again, the 900 mAh battery. I work in an office, so I get out 2 or 3 times a day, and this thing does last me all day. I'll start off at, you know, about 8 o'clock in the morning, and it'll still last me till about 8 o'clock at night, so it'll get me 12 hours. And when I can vape, I vape, but at the office I can't, so. But it'll get me about 12 solid hours, so which is good. Now when I'm out in the city, the other day I was out, it lasted me about 4.5, and that's just walking around vaping, hitting up vape shops, stuff like that. So again, if you vape a lot, or if you vape at very high wattage, I have this thing set at 65 watts right now. So 50 to 65 watts is what I usually vape around. That'll get me all day at work. Now if you vape at higher wattages, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus, remember this is a 200 watt chip. So if you crank this thing up, you're going to suck down that battery like a motherfucker. I mean, you're going to get a couple hours out of it at most. That's a negative for some people, but I like it in the fact that it's a nice and small device, so I don't need a huge battery, And of course you got the USB port up front, so if you got time to charge it, you can charge it during the day. No big deal. Not a problem for me. Like I said, some people might have a problem with that. So, that being said, I think that's it for the Blacksmith DNA 200 by Madvapes. Again, my favorite device out there right now. So, as I said before, this is my very first video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe. Subscribe would be an awesome thing. If anybody would help me out with that, that would be cool. I'd love to do more videos in the future. I have hopefully a Tugboat DNA 200 coming up. I have the mod here we got yesterday, so I haven't seen that many videos on it, so I'd love to make one myself, and make whatever other videos, you know. On this mod right now I have the Infinite V3 RDA, which is a great dripper, so I could do a review on that maybe. I don't know, some other stuff. Sample box, I get sample box every month. We could do some sample box videos. You know, it just depends. So, you know, let me know if you can deal with seeing my face for, you know, what roughly 10 minutes, you know, a couple times a week, and I'll make some more videos. Alright, peace. Did I just say peace? How the fuck did I just say peace?